Luke from the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel is 500 times smarter than you think. Over the past decade, he's amassed over 3 billion views across his YouTube channels and gained over 15 million subscribers. But just a couple years ago, his channel looked like this. This amount of growth was calculated. So how did a random guy from Alaska build one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in history and survive the great death of YouTubers? Well, to find out, we need to go back to Alaska in 1978, when Luke Nichols entered the world. As a kid, Luke was adventurous. Everyone around him was constantly outside, so of course Luke would join them in fishing, camping, and pretty much anything to do with not being in the house. But when Luke turned 21, he went down a completely different path. Instead of pursuing his love for camping and being in the wild, he instead earned a Bachelor of Science in Political Science. I have no idea what that is, but this certificate allowed Luke to found his own political consulting firm, which, unbeknownst to him, would change his life in the strangest way possible. See, in order to advertise his firm, Luke took to the internet, where he started to discover sites like YouTube. This opened up a completely different realm to Luke. People were literally posting videos of themselves on the internet, and millions of people were tuning in to watch them. But this couldn't really help Luke, apart from helping a little bit with the advertising of his law firm, is what a normal person would say. So instead, Luke moved across the country with his wife Rebecca to start a family and a YouTube channel. Now, at this time, Luke was still working on his law firm, but on the side, he was quietly starting a YouTube channel, which would become the foundations to one of the biggest empires on all of YouTube. The YouTube channel which he would create was called Catfish and Carp, and was simply a channel that would allow Luke to document his fishing trips and review fishing equipment. But it only took a couple of months for Luke to realize that something was off. See, he was posting these videos not with the intention of going viral, but instead for enjoyment. So when he got a package from YouTube stating he'd reached 100,000 subscribers, let's say that he was a bit shocked. And although you think Luke would be happy, he was actually quite the opposite. See, his channel about fishing had built an audience around, well, fishing, but Luke wanted to do other things, like he did when he was a kid. Go outside, go camping, and take his kids with him. But his fishing channel did not allow him to do this. So on May 5th, 2015, Luke created the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. Now, instead of just being limited to fishing, Luke could now do virtually whatever he wanted to do. And instead of subscribing for fishing, the viewers were subscribing to him. And after posting videos for a couple of years and getting a decent amount of success, Luke would begin to experiment with the type of videos that he was posting. Now, instead of posting videos about camping, he would shift slightly to making videos with his family and children. And little did Luke know that towards the end of 2019, he would upload a video that would change his life. See, at this time, Luke was still working at his law firm, meaning that any success that he achieved from the Catfish and Carp or the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel would just be a bonus. This was until he uploaded this video. At the time, it was a different upload, but secretly, it was changing his life. This single 10-minute video would go on to gain over 120 million views, and as a result, it allowed Luke to stop working as a lawyer, because now the YouTube channel had gone from a bonus to a full-time job. Now, unlike the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel, Luke could do whatever he wanted to, and still have a good chunk of people who were interested in what he was doing. But Luke had a massive problem. If he continued like this, he would have a chance of experiencing something called the Great Death of YouTubers. See, to understand what this means, let me show you the graph. A person would usually create their YouTube channel, post videos for a couple of months or years, and then they would experience a video that performs out of the ordinary. Then they'll see this and replicate this video maybe multiple times until their channel starts performing extremely well. But then comes the Great Death of YouTubers. This is where the Outdoor Boys were after this video. This decline comes when the YouTuber becomes so obsessed with the views and the outcomes of their video that they forget what made them special: the video itself. So if Luke wasn't careful, he could experience the same decline we've seen so many times before. But thankfully, we saw something much different. For a few years, Luke kept posting videos to the Outdoor Boys, making sure that the reason he was doing it was to purely just have fun, which led him to 2023, where he had amassed over 4 million subscribers. And what was about to happen was even more insane. Luke would begin to make videos that were even more extreme. Videos videos like camping in a dugout shelter and 4 days alone in Alaska.
Luke here at the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and I'm deep in the heart of the Alaskan wilderness. And for the next 4 days, I'm building my shelters, camping, catching my dinner, exploring glaciers, and having a great time.
Were just what his audience wanted, with these videos alone netting Luke nearly 120 million views. And with the Outdoor Boys pumping out videos like these for a further year, he saw his subscriber count more than triple than what it was in 2023, at nearly 15 million subscribers. Which then leads us to the present day, when Luke did the unthinkable.
Hey everyone, this is going to be my last video for a little while. You know, I've been making YouTube videos for 11 years now. First with the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel, then with this, the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. But even good things can be taken too far, and I think I'm starting to reach that point.